everyone, what's up? Nexius here, and today we will be covering a lot of PVE stuff regarding Windwalker monks in 7.1.5. We will be covering stat weight changes such as stat priority. We will be covering gems, enchants, and consumables, and item level. So this should be maybe a 10-minute video, I'm guessing, if I can do it efficiently. So let's talk about stat priority. So in 7.0, item level did not mean as much compared to stats. So for example, 855 boots, versatility mastery was pretty good. But if you got, say, crit and haste, and it was, say, an 860 or 865 boots, that was technically worse than these boots here. And that's because stats are a lot more valuable than item level. But in 7.1.5, Blizzard reduced the significant value of stats compared to item level due to, say, agility, for example. In our case, agility is a lot more valuable now than the stats, so basically item levels will be an upgrade almost guaranteed. So to be specific, basically agility is now like number 1 completely. If you equip an item level upgrade, if it's an armor piece, it has to be 5 item levels or more. And if it's a neck or ring, it has to be 10 item levels or more. And the reason why rings and necks are a bit different in that sense is because they don't have agility. So that agility buff in 7.1.5 doesn't really affect the jewelry a lot. So the real difference comes down to what the stats are. So our stat priority in 7.1.5 is agility is number 1, mastery is number 2, and then critical strike is number 3, versatility number 4, and haste number 5. The main change in our stat priority going into 7.1.5 is that critical strike and versatility used to pretty much be equal, but critical strike is now actually better. So if you can actually get critical strike more than versatility, that's what you'll want to do. So the reason why this is important is because in this case here, I have an 875 necklace and it's versatility mastery. Now, if I get, say, a critical strike mastery necklace and it's, say, 880 or maybe even 885, it's going to be an upgrade based off stat priority. But like I said, if it's like, you know, let's give an example. Say it's versatility haste necklace. That's pretty crappy. And if you get a mastery crit, you know, it's definitely going to be better based off that. But if it's something like gloves, as you can see here, these are haste versatility. Now, I had, I think, 880 or 875 gloves previously, I think, and they were better in terms of the stats. But because item level is better now due to more agility, and agility is number 1 and more valuable now than stats in 7.1.5, these were still an upgrade regardless of the 2 crappy stats on it. So that's just kind of an example there in 7.1.5 in terms of, you know, agility is number 1 by far now, and then you got mastery, crit, versatility, haste. Nothing is equal. It's strictly that order. I'll add it in text somewhere if it helps you guys remember that. Now, in terms of gems, enchants, and consumables, it's pretty easy. You just go based off the stat priority. So we'll head over here to the auction house. When it comes to enchants, you want agility on the cloak because agility is number 1 on stat priority. Now, I haven't done it yet because I just got this cloak from Nighthold recently, so I will have to enchant my own later. I won't do it right now. It's kind of pointless. So I'll throw agility on this after this guide. For your rings, you want mastery because there is no agility enchants for them, and mastery is number 2. So you want mastery on your rings. When it comes to your Augment Rune, obviously you want this as a buff. It's kind of like your flask. So you want this because it will give you agility. So pick this up if you can. This is kind of like a flask. You just throw it on you. It's a buff. If you want to farm these, you get them from LFR, the easiest way, I think. And it just saves a lot of gold. 384 gold per one is a lot. So I recommend just doing LFR. You'll pick up quite a few of them. Additionally, it gives you a chance at legendary items. So farming LFR is a good idea. In terms of your flask of choice, you want to obviously go with the agility one. Nothing's really changed since flasks were first brought into the game. You want your main stat, which is 1300 agility. So Flask of the 7th Demon will be your flask choice. As for your neck enchant, you want the 600 mastery enchant here, Mark of the Trained Soldier. As you can see, I have them on my neck piece currently. As for your gems, you want 1 Saber's Eye of agility, since that's your number 1 priority. In my case, I have them in my legendary ring, so you want 1 Saber's Eye of agility. If you somehow get sockets on any of your items and you already have a Sabers equipped, the next gem that you want is the Masterful Shadow Ruby, since it's number 2 on the stat priority with mastery. So anything with sockets, you want a Masterful Shadow Ruby equipped in there. Now, as for your food buffs, let's talk about Nightborn Delicacy. Again, mastery is number 2, so you want mastery here with your food buff. 375 mastery, 78 gold per one on my server. Now, if I'm a cheap bastard, I can go with the Barracuda Murglog, or whatever. The Barracuda Murglog, there we go. 300 mastery instead of 375, but it is 20 gold instead of 78, or whatever it was. So those are the two types of food that you want to eat for your food buff. In terms of your potions, if you are running Serenity, which you probably shouldn't be, Storm Earth and Fire is a lot better, specifically Whirling Dragon Punch in 715. Potion of the Old War is for Serenity. It will just allow you to deal extra damage. Potion of Prolonged Power is a bit different. It actually gives you 2500 agility for 1 minute, and since you have 2 charges, you might be able to fit in the 2 Storm Earth and Fires, depending on the fight and all that different stuff. So it gives you more value with Storm Earth and Fire. Because I do know in the past, Old War had a lot of issues with Storm Earth and Fire. I don't know if they still exist. If they still exist, definitely don't use Old War with Storm Earth and Fire. I would just go with the Prolonged Power. It's what I've seen in written guides. You just want this one number 1. 2500 agility for 1 minute is pretty damn good. So those are your potions of choice. That's your food of choice, your flask, your Augment Rune, your enchants, and your gems. Last thing, I think I've covered everything really quickly. Very quick guide. I showed you guys, 200 agility gem. Everything else is 150 mastery. Mastery on your rings. Mastery on your neck piece. Agility on your cloak. I'll just do that right now real quick if I have the materials. Word of agility. Nope, I don't have them. I'll have to get them later. That, I think, covers everything. If you guys have any questions, don't be... Oh, actually, no. I have one more thing to talk about. I almost forgot. Stats. So, like I said, stat priority is agility, mastery, crit, versus haste. So, haste, I believe you still want between 5 and 10%. I have 11% because most of my gear is PvP, so very bad stats. Once I get more lucky with loot from Nighthold, I'll be a lot better. For example, I got haste here. I got right here, haste, versatility, the top 2 worst. So, like, I've been having some bad luck with my loot currently in Nighthold. But as you can see, you want 5 to 10% with haste. Versatility is a lot less valuable compared to mastery, or not mastery, critical strike now, instead of being equal like it was in 7.0. So I definitely need to sacrifice some versatility for crit, get that crit up. Mastery is your number 1 in terms of secondary stats. A lot of monks were saying, 40% is the cap, you don't want to go over 40%. But Babylonius, the host of WalkingTheWind.com, and he's a very good mythic rating Windwalker. A lot of people go to his website, which I do recommend. You can check it in the description below after this video if you want more Windwalker information. He says that you can go over 40%. There is no cap on mastery, and that you can get, all mastery is good. If it's an upgrade, it's an upgrade. So you don't have to stop at 40%. I'm clearly lacking. So what I need to do is once I get lucky with my gear, I need to sacrifice versatility and a little bit of haste to bump up that mastery and that critical strike. I'm definitely lacking in crit, and I'm kind of behind on mastery as well. So that's what's recommended there. If you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. Leave a comment. On top of that, you can also check WalkingTheWind.com if there's anything there that you guys want to see. I'll leave a link down below. I'll leave a couple of links on the screen here somewhere that you can see, so you can get more information if you would like. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you on my next one, guys. Thanks.